Hi, I'm Tim O'Donnell on behalf of On To Swindon. As part of our campaign to show how Swindon is a great place to live, work and invest, we will be interviewing people who really have something to say about that. To tie in with the upcoming Tech Swindon Summit, for our first big interview, local enterprise partnership board member and former national newspaperman Ian Mean sat down with Mike Connor to find out how a passion and a vision for technology led to a Swindon-based business gaining an international reputation and ultimately partnering with one of the world's biggest companies. This is the story of Appsbroker.
Okay, Mike, tell us about why you made the decision to set up your operation in Swindon.
Well, I was living in Swindon at the time and working in technology, but I spent my life driving to Reading or driving to Bristol or driving to Heathrow or getting a train into London. And so I guess part of the decision was to make life fit together a bit easier because we'd just started having children.
That was what? How many years ago?
Set the business up about 14 years ago. So yeah, we've now got 3 kids, and actually, having the ability to organise your work life around your home life, I think has a lot to be said for it. And I guess everybody's working from home at the moment, but it's quite nice to be involved in the family and drop kids off at school, etc. Go to sports days.
Yeah. Now, you've grown massively, haven't you, as a company?
I would have liked to have grown a lot faster. I think you've got to start somewhere, and I think some of the design principles were, we didn't want to borrow money, we didn't want to take investors, and we kind of wanted to build a business in a fairly traditional, organic way. And I think we've done that to a large extent. But I think really, part of being involved with an organisation like or partnering with an organisation like Google is, the opportunity is enormous. And although we've got 150 people at the moment, there's no reason why. That couldn't be thousands of people. The market is excited about what Google Cloud is doing, what it's bringing in terms of opportunities for businesses to be more agile, and that's where we built our expertise. So I think cloud seemed like a really good idea to me 14 years ago. And it's taken this long to become the de facto standard of and way of operating. But your question was, we've grown quite fast. I think had the common sense of cloud been more prevalent 14 years ago, we'd be an awful lot bigger than we are now.
So in simple terms, for people who don't know what you do, what is your point of difference as a business?
Well, I think if you look at large organisations, they typically have an array of global system integrators that build and manage their IT. And then if you want something different and something that's going to move a bit faster and be a bit more personal, there's not a lot of choice. The big guys have bought all the medium-sized guys, and then there's the very small guys. And I think we're one of the big small guys. And I think what we do is offer customers Google Cloud expertise at a level that no one else in the UK can offer it. Just because we've done more air miles on the platform, delivered more projects on the platform. and just a can-do attitude. Usually by the time a customer's spoken to us, we'll get a statement of work in, and the project's live, and probably delivered in the time it would take a traditional vendor to actually even mobilize a team. So I think we tend to win business-led projects for large organizations that need to move quickly.
And looking at some of those organizations, Mike, Santander, PwC, Ocado, Jaguar Land Rover, big names there.
Santander is a good example of MiFID II compliance was very important for their ability to trade in the EU, and had they not been compliant on time, it would have been huge, reputational issues, as well as a very, very expensive period of not being able to trade. So they came to Appsbroker, and we built their MiFID II platform, and it's been a great result for both sides.
I'll just talk a bit about your philosophy and quote something to you. My research says this. You say, "I'm a free-range chicken, not a battery hen. I wanted to create a company where people like me would want to come and work." Is that still the case?
I think so. I think different people have different requirements from work. I think I like to feel alive. I like to look forward to going into work. I like to work with the customers that I like working with, and with colleagues I like working with, and who wouldn't build a company that was based on those parameters.
Yeah. And what about Swindon? My personal view is that Swindon's often ignored. Do people really know much about it?
Swindon's been a great place to live and bring up children and build a business. And I think, I've often asked myself, would I have had the courage to start the business just as we started having children if I didn't have a mortgage? I think the fact that you can get a decent house in Swindon at a fraction of the price anywhere along the M4 from Bristol to Hammersmith, just gave me a bit more freedom, a bit more track to try something that I believed in. And I think IT was just too difficult for businesses to buy, and that was my that was the reason I felt that Appsbroker needed to exist. So by not having a mortgage when I went to set the business up, it meant that I could freewheel for a bit longer and find out how to do it. I was thinking, if I lived in Chiswick and had an 8K a month mortgage, you just go, actually, I know how much track I've got, and when I'm out of the game, basically. And you can't make the best decisions if you're running scared of something else.
So what does Swindon need to do to attract more people like you, Mike, into the tech area?
I don't think Swindon would want to attract more people like me, but other people to set up businesses. I think just creating a bit more kudos to work in Swindon. One of the things that's bothers me, and I think Swindon's got a real opportunity to capitalise from the sort of COVID crisis, is every morning you'd see queues and queues of traffic heading off to leaving Swindon, heading off to Reading, heading off to Bristol, as I used to do. You see the train platforms crowded with people off to go and do their tech jobs in other towns, and it just always puzzled me why we couldn't get the talent in Swindon that's working in all these other towns, working for other great technology companies, doing stuff in Swindon. But that has been a great opportunity for Appsbroker. There's actually, life keeps changing for us all, and actually, the commute and the hassle of the commute and the stress of the commute isn't up there in anyone's top 5 reasons to work outside Swindon. So I think it'd be really interesting to see, and I think we've already seen a big change in recruitment, quality of recruitment, because people are just working where they live, and that's got to be good for the tech community.
And is there enough support from the council, from the local LEP?
Well, Swindon Borough Council isn't a customer yet, so I'd love that sort of support. Keep Swindon jobs in Swindon, but I think there's always enthusiasm. There's always interest, but I think there's models to de-risk that entrepreneurial leap that other towns and cities do better. So you look at I think it's Cardiff Bay or something like that. They're saying, well, relocate the business to here, and you could get 50% of your payroll paid for 18 months and free office blocks. Birmingham City Council are going, come to Birmingham, and we'll give you a 7-figure payment and free offices. And I think as an entrepreneur, most of us are running on our private finance. It doesn't mean the idea is bad or it can't scale. It's just your personal attitude to risk. And I think Swindon has been only 10,000 square foot office in Old Town. I wouldn't have been able to buy that in any other town, and it's a nice working space, and we look forward to getting back there once COVID's over.
But you wouldn't want to expand anywhere else. You're quite happy.
I don't really know what expansion means at the moment, because our office is empty. Our customers don't expect us on site anymore. What does the new world look like? Because I can't believe that anyone's going to suddenly decide that commuting is environmentally friendly or family friendly, or actually delivers that much value. And I think all of our productivity has increased massively because we can do more meetings each day rather than driving between customers. And I almost see a massive risk of productivity loss if you're suddenly trying to introduce a couple of idle hours a day of commuting. I can't see how it's going to work. So we've got customers in pretty much, before we were limited to sort of UK, we had banking customers in Spain and France, etc. But that's because London was important financial centre. if you look now, we're now winning customers who are on the same time zone. So, you know, the business has got much more international very quickly. So you know, I'm not sure what it's going to look like the other side of this, but you know, if we don't have to visit the customer, and the customer wouldn't want us to visit, you know, in case we're, you know, a bio security hazard, so everything will continue to be delivered remotely. Yeah, I don't want to put employees at risk by mandating they need to be in the office and following government guidelines. You know, they need to do what they feel comfortable with. And actually, the offices throughout this have generally been used as a safe space away from kids and nagging spouses. So, yeah, the role changes.
Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you.